ZGRWhyUDead! And welcome back to the Dark Souls Prepare to Die Edition walkthrough. We just made our way past the very first boss after a little introduction to show you how I got here and what gear I was using. The first boss was kind of a bitch for me with this current setup, but we were able to get him down, and I hope it provided some advice as to how you can take him down if you're playing as a melee character. If you're playing as a sorcerer or something like some other kind of range character, you probably won't have as much trouble as I did. And I'll also be posting my Sorcerer playthrough in the near future, probably this time next week, so you'll be able to see how I got through it. As we move on, we're going to move into, what do you call it, the Oolacile Garden? The Oolacile Sanctuary. And the next portion of content, I guess, is going to be kind of slow as I explore this area, because this is the first time that I've been to it. So, with that, we'll check it out. As always, when I get to a new area, I use a couple humanities to bring myself back alive so that I can kindle the bonfire, because it's so important to be able to have 10 Estus flasks, especially when you're exploring new content.
Well, look at this one. From what faraway age hast thou come? Thy scent is very human indeed, but not intolerable. Ah, Princess Dusk's savior. Thine aura is precisely as she described. I thank thee deeply for rescuing Her Highness, but Princess Dusk is here no longer, snatched away by that horrifying primeval human. And so I must ask, couldst thou once more play the savior? Thank you. I am Elizabeth, guardian of this sanctuary. Something of a godmother to Princess Dusk. I shall assist thee to my utmost, for I am one with the sorcerers of Oolacile. Thou shalt see further on, an abyss was begat of the ancient beast, and threatens to swallow the whole of Oolacile. Knight Artorius came to stop this, but such a hero has nary a murmur of dark. Without doubt he will be swallowed by the abyss, overcome by its utter blackness. Indeed, the abyss may be unstoppable. Still, I have faith that Princess Dusk may be rescued yet.
So that's Elizabeth, the talking mushroom, who sells all the same spells that Dusk of Oolacile sells. I guess she kind of sets up the narrative for what we're going to be doing here, going after to, I guess, save Artorius and save Dusk of Oolacile again, but it doesn't really make sense. By the time I finish all of this content, you go back and talk to her and she doesn't say anything different, so I don't understand. I don't understand what her purpose is, I guess, except to just set you up. But I feel like if I'm gonna go rescue Dusk of Oolacile, I should get like a reward or some kind of fucking notification that I've finished. And maybe I did something wrong. I don't know. We'll get to it eventually. That's gonna happen way at the end of this anyway. Also, if you kill Oolacile or the Dusk of Oolacile before you come here, that mushroom's not there. If I realized that in my Sorcerer playthrough. I don't know if there's any significance to it, but that's just an observation. Just trying to scout ahead of me. It's a long bridge, and there's two little characters up there. I wasn't exactly sure what they are. They look like they might be snipers or something. Turns out they're going to end up being kind of the most basic enemy that you run into now. The kind of, I guess, similar to the basic undead that you run into everywhere else. So this is Royal Wood, and to me is the prettiest zone that is in the game so far. These guys have a couple different attacks, and they have a cool pitchfork, which you can actually get when you kill them. that can deal some pretty good damage. The enemies themselves are not too threatening unless there's a bunch of them, just like the basic undead everywhere else that you see in the game. I think what I liked most about the new content was that it was thrilling, exciting, and unknown. Terrifying and beautiful. You know, all these things that Dark Souls was to me the first time I played through it. But when I made my previous 2 playthroughs, I knew everything about the game already for the most part. I'd played through it 3 or 4 times already. This is my first time through this area, so you're experiencing what I'm going through as I'm exploring a new area, learning new fights, new monsters, finding the new treasures, the new gear. Like, look at this big fucker. What's he gonna do? So apparently he hits hard as shit, and then he pulls his axe out of the ground for another attack. I'm pretty sure I burned through 5 S's Flask learning to fight this guy, and I still don't ever get good at it. He blows right through my whole shield, and you gotta get away or you'll take damage when he pulls it out like that. The only way I found to beat these guys as a dexterity-based melee character with light armor is to do hit-and-run tactics, go in for a few swings and then roll out and rinse and repeat. That hole in the ground there is actually a shortcut, but we won't unlock that for a while. It'll bring us pretty much straight to the next boss, which is Knight Artorias. We just saw those gauntlets. What are those? Guardian gauntlets. Over the set of this video, we'll pick up the entire set of Guardian armor. It's spread out throughout this level, and as you can see, the stats are really high. It'd be kind of equivalent, I guess, to the stone armor. I don't think it's quite as powerful as Havel's. I don't believe that it has any other perks. No magic abilities or anything. It just looks like kind of cool. It's actually the armor set of those big stone golem looking guys that we were just fighting. There's a whole lot of enemies here in the middle. You can see, looks like 2 or 3 of those basic guys, and then 2 or 3 stone giants too, I'm pretty sure. These don't need to be fought at any time. You don't ever have to go into the middle. So don't waste your time here like I just did. Nope. Alright, I've just done a large circle around kind of the main area on this top level of the Royal Wood, and we're nearing back to where I entered, crossing the bridge. So we're going to go into a little flowery field and then head forward, and that's the next section. If I were to die, you can see the bridge, it was just to my right over there. I would just come straight over here instead of dicking around around the perimeter like I just did before this. Now this portion we run into 4 or 5 or 6 of these farmer dudes. And like I said, one at a time they're not bad, but when you get a whole bunch of them like this, they're pretty intimidating. There, one of them dropped their four-pronged shovel plow. I don't remember. I didn't see exactly what it was called. I'll try it on in a second. It's got kind of a neat R2 attack. Her, her. Now there I was hoping to single pull, but it ends up that both of them come together. Another piece, I believe, of the Guardian armor is behind. You don't have to fight this guy if you don't want to. You can just try to sprint past him to get the gear. Because these guys, I don't know. I'm not a big fan. Yep, dead like a bitch. So this time I'm going to take out these 2 basic enemies, and then I'm going to hang a left instead of a right, which should bring me right back to where I just died at. I was hoping there that if I would take out that runner that he wouldn't call in his friends, but it looks like it doesn't matter. All of them bum rush you anyway. while this character isn't the strongest, I think that the set of armor I've got actually looks pretty neat with the red skirt and the hard leather armor with the thief's starting hat. And then, you know, having everything under 25% equipment load, keep being able to be so mobile and everything. I don't know. I think the character looks cool. It's too bad that he's not stronger than he is. Yeah, eat a dick, bitch. So apparently there's that guy. That ends up being an optional boss in the area, who we'll run into a few more times before the end of this walkthrough. Kind of cool sound effects here. You can hear a storm gathering. It doesn't ever actually rain, but wearing my my Razer Tiamat 7.1 headset, you know, the sound effects sounded pretty freaking cool. Now that enemy, and we'll see a few more of those, had like a scissor type of weapon. But I don't believe you can actually get that weapon, which is too bad. I cut a little bit of footage out right here because I didn't know, I was kind of just running around in a circle, didn't really know where I was supposed to go. So that explains the cut. I just rolled over that little half of a ledge, and it seemed like I should have been able to walk over it, but I can guarantee you that you can, in fact, fall down that. I don't really want to fight this guy, but I saw some loot past him. I could probably sprint past, but I'll just get rid of him, I guess. So there's the actual chest piece for the Guardian armor, which is what that guy's wearing right in front of me. These arrows, Gauf, I don't remember how to say his name. They can only be used by a great bow. They may only be actually be able to be used by his bow, which I'll show you how to get later. But they're massive arrows, and you'll actually get to see a cutscene with one in action at one point in time, at some point in time. So I'm kind of just trying to explore the outer perimeter of this upper area. It looks like there's one more item up there ahead of me. I think I can see it up on that little ledge, just barely, that we're going to go and try and get. Whoops! We'll just try this little jump this time. Yep, there we go. And it's the final piece to the set, the helmet. This Elizabeth mushroom is actually a consumable that you can use. I'm pretty sure you can use it in PvP that will restore your health. So those, I don't know if they can be used in the arena or not, but I know if you're invading somebody, you can heal yourself with them. Some asshole invaded me and healed himself like 8 times and then kicked my ass. And here we're back to the small little jump that I made earlier. There's only one more way to go, and that should be straight ahead of me now. Now these, I think there's 3 of those basic enemies with the scissor type of weapon in here. I have no idea what these black mushroom looking things are, but you can destroy them. Anyway, these guys don't all aggro together, so you can sneak up on them and pick them off one at a time. Those gold coins, as far as I know, are only used to give to King Speaker Fraps. If you went that route, he'll take them from you and give you something like 10,000 souls per gold coin. So I've covered pretty much every portion of the top section of the Royal Wood here. The only thing left is this small garden here with 2 basic enemies and then 2 of the giants. I'm going to try and pick up these 2 basic enemies and then run past the giants because I just don't think that I can handle 2 of them at once. Now earlier I saw this building in front of me. I saw from the other side of this building that there's actually a soul on the back side of it that I'm going to try and get to. But I've got these 2 assholes chasing me, and I don't really want to deal with them. Apparently there's... Alright, this elevator takes us down below to a new area, which is real close to actually another shortcut, but we'll get to that in a second. I haven't finished exploring all of the stuff up here. I almost have, but I want to make sure I've explored everything before I head down that elevator. And they followed me out here. I was hoping maybe they'd fall off, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. They're probably just going to kick my ass. Dumbass. So now that I got the item and ran all the way back, I cut out the footage, about 10 minutes of me dicking around, getting back here. I've taken the stairs down. There's a path down to my right that I can go down that takes me down to a lower canyon. Looks like a boss right in front of me, but somebody left a note here that says try right, and I see that. And there's actually a path over here. Looks like there's a vendor, and there's actually going to be a shortcut that takes us back to almost the beginning, which is a pretty significant shortcut.
Let me guess. Snatched by a shadowy limb and dragged off to the past? Yes, of course. Exactly what happened to me. We are both strangers in this strange land. But at least now there are 2 of us.
He's got all the different types of plants, basically all the basic types of items, except for the one that cures curses. He has a whole bunch of different types of arrows as well, but that's about it. To me, I found this vendor to be pretty useless, and actually later I end up just killing him.
Knight Artorias, the legendary Abyss Walker from the old tales. Well, if you haven't, it's just as well. He's a colorless sort, if you ask me.
I'll eventually fight this guy's Phantom at one point, and then I'll go back and kill him because you can get his full set of armor when you kill him. None of it is that great, I guess, but his coat makes it so you're silent when you walk, I'm pretty sure. Plus, it looks pretty neat. So it kind of complements this dexterity type of build that I'm using right here. And if you can remember, this is the first tower I went in. I mentioned this before. And actually, I think I'm going to end the video here because I've pretty much explored all of this area now. The only thing that's left is to fight the boss, and that's going to be a bitch. So I'll save that for tomorrow. See you later.